Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me for a Friday morning class. Let's take right hand in fist, left hand straight. Pull back the thumb, feet together, hands together, and let's press forwards. Lovely. Let's do a little bit of warming. We'll begin with our rotation in center and allowing the movement to spiral up and down through the system. Feel into your four corners and breathe. I'm on a seam there. We have mats down, and if you stand on a seam, you feel the difference. Breathe. Good. All right, and let's very gently change direction. We were talking just before we began the recording about early morning starts, early morning classes. Actually, there's a lot of traditions that choose to do sort of moon practice, and it gives a kind of tranquility and peace. Before the sun rises, your body is still in rest mode, so it is easier to tap into the deep peace within if you do a class, say at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I've even noticed it back in the days. Don't do this anymore, but I used to be a real night owl. Let's come back to center, please, and do the same movement, but on the horizontal plane. So we're just focusing on the roll in the hips, keeping the rest of the body in neutral. Yeah, so back in the day, I was a night owl, and I would be up to 2 o'clock in the morning most nights, but not necessarily having morning classes, so that worked for me at the time. But I noticed if I did my standing practice at 2 in the morning, I experienced that same peace. So you can come at it from either end. I think it's probably healthier to get to bed before 11 so that your liver gets a chance to have its rest phase. But yeah, there is definitely something to nighttime training. I would call it nighttime, early morning training. That takes discipline. That's another aspect, which is a very valuable thing if you can have the discipline to get up and practice. I take my hat off to you. Change direction, please. I go through phases of doing it. I would like to do it more, but for me, I need my 8 hours sleep. So if I'm going to do morning practice, like early morning practice, it means going to bed early, like 10 at the latest. And I'm a bit too fond of my winding down time. So something that needs work. All right, lovely. Let us now open our stance, and we do the same movement, but wider and deeper. Listening to the body. Keep going, please. I hear my little cat wanting in. Coming in? No. False alarm. We don't have a door that would suit a cat flap, so sorry about that. Yeah. Breathe. Good. Now, we would do 30 of these when we train. And my husband and I have sorted out a kind of training timer on our phones so that if we're feeling lazy, we don't have to count. We just keep going until it beeps and then change direction. But we've timed it for about 30. And I find that at first it seems easy. Let's change direction. But as time goes on, this gets quite challenging. So warm up is a good time to challenge the system and just push the envelope a little bit with stamina. It just raises the chi, it gets your body working. But there's a fine line, so listen to your body, and if it's screaming at you, then don't push. Some warm-ups are redonkulous. I mean, I see various martial arts, their warm-ups can be extreme. Some of them just running around doing like circuit training and really going for it, star jumps and all. Even the hardcore Tai Chi warm-ups tend to be a bit more like this. Let's come back to center and up you come. Maybe someday when Willem joins us, we will do the full Chenzi Chang warm-up. I think we've maybe done it once before in these Zoom classes. It is hardcore. Regardless of what discipline you do, you'll find it, yeah, challenging. Cycling back the legs, please, like this. There we go. One day recently, I joined in one of Willem's Kung Fu classes, and he said, should we do a Tai Chi warm-up? And I went, yes. I was thinking, I'll be in my element. He did the Chenzi Chang warm-up, and oh boy, I mean, yeah, that was tough. Let's circle the arms. You do a little bounce, which really helps momentum. Good, and change direction. But even I used to do just a systematic warm-up. We'll do it maybe with you next week. And I got feedback the other day from a student who used to do that warm-up with me. And he said, yeah, that was a real workout before every class. I thought it was tiddly-pong, you know, it didn't feel that harsh to me, but it was just thorough. Let's change direction. Good, and let's do one of my new favorites, the little wibble wobbles, loosening. Let's lengthen up through the top of the head and we'll fold gently to one side. And now we begin our wibble wobble. Breathe. And just flollop in all directions. See if you can melt the muscles, the tendons, the bones. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good, and on the other side, breathing in, float up, over to the other side. I find actually with this exercise, if there is tension, maybe from the likes of repetitive strain, that it kind of sticks out because it's the part that won't melt. I've been crocheting quite a lot recently. It's a new thing for me. And I find certain muscles just don't want to release. Good. Breathe. I think we should call this the magic pencil exercise. You know that thing that you take a pencil and you wobble it and it makes it look like it's turned to rubber? Good. All right, let's float up. Breathe in. Relax down. Good. Easing from your stance. Let's do a little bit of leg work and we'll do some stretching for the legs. Forwards and back. Good. Let's take the weight back, sliding the hand down to just above the knee, keeping the length of your spine and hinging from the hips. Direct your nose towards your toes and keep breathing. Now I like to do a little apply and release. I don't want to say bounce because it's still in control. A pulse, if you like. And you'll see Chen Zichang doing that. He doesn't just hold, he has a pulse, which I think actually really does aid the stretch. Release and feed the toes back, taking hold. Breath, all important, keep breathing. Lengthening the spine. Good, relax the foot down and up you come. I'm going to show you from the side. I know you know what you're doing, but anyway, kick it out, step forwards, and let's row the boat. Breathe. I would love to know why it seems to be human nature that when we're concentrating on something, we hold our breath. Because it's not conducive to actually helping our bodies. So anytime you find that you're holding your breath as you concentrate, consciously allow yourself to breathe, because you're feeding your muscles and you're getting rid of the waste products with your breath. Let's feed the weight back, sliding down. Gently brace your knee, lengthen the spine, and that little pulse, if you like. You can hold as you breathe if you prefer. Do be a bit careful. You can over force the knee. It should not be forced. Just encourage it to lengthen. Good, pulling those toes back, taking hold, same side, hands to foot, and continue to lengthen. Keep breathing. Good, relax down, and up you come. Beautiful, well done. Easing from your stance. Let's do a little body stretch and squeeze. Again, Alison showed me a really nice variation of this stretch. I'm thinking it's very like the Dancing with Rainbows exercise from the 18th step, but she's taken a slightly different route, a more linear stretch, and it's lovely. I really enjoy it. You're getting a stretch on one side and you're getting compression on the other side, and both these aspects stimulate energy flow and help to flush and carry away any stagnation. So really nice exercise. Let us lengthen up on one side. Now, I'm kind of going off screen here, but can you imagine that you're being lifted by the wrist? I think a giant, lengthening you up, up, up. Stretch the other hand down the leg, and we're going to release the belly, the hips, and the knees. You're sitting your bottom down, and now allow yourself to bow into the side of the raised arm. So you're letting your hip gently bow outwards. And you can have a play with looking up, with looking forwards, and looking down. I feel the best stretch actually when I look down. Keep breathing into it. Feel the weight of your body sinking and the arm being lifted, lengthening. Feel the compression and release. Recover. Let's try on the other side. We lengthen up through the top of the head. Let the body hang heavy. Lifting up and lengthening as if you're being lifted by the wrist. Up, up, up. Release the body. Belly, hips, knees. Lengthening the other arm down the leg and gently bow. So sitting the bottom down, releasing the tailbone down. It's slightly tucked under you, like you're seated. And have a look up. Feel the stretch. Look forwards. And keep breathing, look down. Feel that lengthening on one side, feel the compression on the other, and release. Float up, release, come down. Well done. Isn't that lovely? I'd encourage you to play with it. I think Alison comes up with these beautiful variations because she is playful in listening and feeling to her body, and noticing, oh, if I do this, it's just a slight tweak, a slight adjustment, and it can really change it. Alison's here, so if you want to say anything about it, by all means jump in. But yeah, I think that's a very useful lesson for all our Tai Chi practice, is not just do what you have always done day in, day out, but to be playful, to explore the sensations, and the slightest variation can open a whole new world of experience. Let's do a bit more stretching for the arms, please. I'd like you to open your arms to the sides and very gently open the chest. So we're actually going beyond what we would normally do. Tai Chi would normally bring your arms to here. I want you to really open to the sides, even if you can, open behind you, and open your chest and release. And let's round the ball. And again, open, lift the chest, stretch. So we're giving the do channel and the run channel a little bit of a spring clean. Good. Around and relax down. And let's take a wee page out of the Animal Frolics, and let's do the crane one for just another extra wee stretch. I've been doing the Animal Frolics recently with a few classes, and they're fantastic stretches. They're very, very good. So crane one, we're going to go into horse stance. We have our palms, one over the other. I think of this as the turtle palm. It looks like a turtle swimming. Doesn't matter which palm is on top. We're going to lengthen the hands forwards and up, bringing the wrists up, and slightly, a slight diagonal forwards with the body. So you're slightly leaning forwards. Allow your tailbone to release out and back. So you're really lengthening, you're becoming the bird. The legs are actually straight at this point. And now we press the hands down. Good. And with a little dip of the middle two fingers, we create like feathery fingers. Don't know if you can see that. I'll show you. Slight dip. So there's your feathery fingers. Yeah. Now we're going to press the hands down and back and take your weight into one side and push one leg back. Hands down and back, leg back, lift and open the chest and stretch everything back as high as far as you can and release. And let's do it on the other side. So we go back onto your bird shape, we lengthen up, slight diagonal forwards, release your tail feathers out behind, you're looking down along the line of the beak, and we press down, gently down. And we're going to feed the weight into the other side this time. Press the hands down and away, lengthen the leg away, open and lift your chest as you stretch it back and release. Good, I think that's enough. And just shake out. Maybe you want to do another wee kind of crunch downwards, just to open up your back again after that squeeze. Good. And standing up, roll yourself up. Good. Hopefully you're feeling nicely warmed. I hope you enjoyed that. That's the first of the crane exercises from the Animal Frolics. They're a jolly good set. They really do stretch and push the boundaries a little bit and get the body properly flowing. Excellent. So let's do open door 5 once, and then we'll see about Phoenix maybe, and possibly Immortals. Do feel free to jump in and say again or something else, or whatever you like. Okay, open door 5, please. Let's begin with Wuji. Heels together, toes a little bit apart, and let's lengthen up through the top of the head, chin down and back. Take your time to breathe, calm down. arrive. Listen behind you. Gently, slowly bring your awareness back to the room, pressing all 10 fingers down, release belly, hips, knees, and open to the side, fixing the feet to shoulder width. Check posture once more. And let's begin. Well done. Massage for the back, kidneys. Lovely. Now, if you would like to do another round of open door 5, now is your chance. I'd like to see thumbs up for that. Yes, okay, lovely. Yeah. It's so simple, but I find there that I have issues in my right hip. Um, and this is my second class of the day. I've just done a warm up, but I felt during open door 5, I felt something going release. So it's an excellent exercise. It's worthy of attention. Ready? We'll go from the open position this time, checking posture. Calming down. Let's begin. and palms, gently rubbing the kidneys. Beautiful, well done. You know, I teach this stuff and I do practice, but it's often hammered home to me as I do it with you. I think, gosh, this is really helping me. I need to do this more. And isn't that often the way? So yeah, it's important that we actually apply what we learn to get the benefits from it. It's not enough that we know it's good for us, we need to do it. Yeah, so let us move on now and we'll have a wee look at the Phoenix form. We'll do once through the Phoenix form, see how you get on. There's so many options now open to you as you learn a form, or once you've learned a form, you can play with it to your heart's content. We could look at the mirror image of it today as well if you like. See how your head feels. Some of you have been up training at what I sometimes called stupid o'clock. If you've been up since 5, maybe you don't want to tax your brain. So let's do it the normal way first, and I'll check in with you and we can decide where to go from there. All right, are we ready? Not, of course, stupid o'clock at all. It's excellent training time, moon time. Ready? Lengthening up for Phoenix in graceful clouds of blessing, calming down. Let's begin. Very good. Okay, so I'd just like to touch on something, folks. I was talking about earlier with regards to warming up and playing with things and experimenting, doing little things a little bit different and how it can make the world of difference. I've noticed in the Phoenix, we have a lot of, and Open Door 5, actually, we have a lot of this scooping and shoveling. Now, as you know, when we shovel, we want to have the hands join diagonally in a little bit and forwards, and the triangulation point of the middle fingers, so it's a point ahead of the hands where both fingers are pointing to, both hands. That point is sort of the focus point that's engaging the tip of your tailbone. So the first movement that we're doing, we're engaging the tip of the tailbone, an incredibly energetic part of the body. A lot of energy is stored at the base of the spine. And you'll notice in Phoenix, we have this movement, the reverse pouring gourd, where we're scooping and we're lifting up all the way up to level with the head and turning and coming down. And that is directly engaging with the microcosmic orbit, with the energy flowing up the governing channel and coming down through the conception channel, or the do and the rin channel. What I've noticed through a little bit of experimentation is if I keep my palms flat as I shovel, or a bit like, you know, the Chen style scoop, I don't get as good a connection as when I scoop and I have a little bit of an upturn with the fingers. So keeping the laogong, the center of the palm, a little bit soft and concave. Yeah, so it's a little bit soft, but I'm actually allowing my fingers to scoop upwards. So I'm shoveling, I'm getting in under, but I'm allowing the fingertips to just turn a little bit up. So imagine that you're holding your bowl. If you had your palms flat, the bowl could just roll off. But if you think of scooping under and having the fingers slightly turned up and then lifting, it makes the world of difference. You feel this kind of weight in your arms. And feedback from one of my international colleagues was saying, the gas is heavy. And I'm going, what are you on about? But actually, when I did this, I realized, oh yeah, she's right. You should feel a weightedness because you're actually connecting with your chi in a more powerful way. And you're feeling the weight as you're rising up through the layers. So having that slight upturn can make a world of difference. So you come up to level with the top of the head and turn, and in the same way, the palms are slightly curved downwards. So the center of the palm, the laogong, is soft, and you're feeding through the center of the palm. So you're keeping your fingers alive and energized, but you're actually connecting with the laogong as you make your journey downwards. Your energy is sinking, you're allowing your energy to sink, and it's like you're resting on duvets and feeling the resistance as you sink down. So there should be resistance on both the upward journey as you feel up your back with your fingers slightly turned up and the fingers slightly curved down because you're focusing on the laogong point, on the center point of the palm as you sink down, rather than just flat. If the palms are flat, you'll feel it. You still feel it, but it's a different sensation. So that a little bit of curve, and feel into the center of the palm as well as the fingertips. And you'll find that girdle meridian energetic barrier when you get to about level with your waist. So then you can literally go around, and again with your hands round, you'll feel the barrier all the way round. You'll feel like a tangible ball level with your belly. So it's like the outer reflection of what's going on inside. You're feeling the edges of the dandian, the bigger ball inside, and then up into your stretch. You may have already found that it was maybe old hat to you, but it was an experience for me. I got the wow moment when I realized that if my palms weren't flat, but were actually curved with the fingers pointing up, it contained the energy and I felt the connection and I felt the weightedness. If you feel a weightedness in your arms during that movement, you've got it. And even with the big ball that we do, the cloud hands, the same. If you're getting your alignment, if you're relaxing enough, if you're feeling, you should feel the ball between your hands. It's a big ball, but you should still feel it. So if it gets too big, it'll be lost. It'll just be arm movement. So just so you can see under your hands, that's the size. It's not huge. This is bigger than your standard cloud hands. Normally cloud hand, it's level with just under the nose so that you can see beyond your hands. This time it's that little bit higher. You still should not be impeding your vision with your hands, so they have to be slightly higher than eye height. But feel for the connection, feel for the ball. You're at this stage, you've got the choreography, now you can focus on tweaking it to get the best connection. It's all about getting the connection with the chi. Good. Shall we do one more time with Phoenix and see if we can feel for those elements? Excellent. Thank you. Okay, here we are. Let's lengthen up. Calming down. Listening behind. Ready. Start. Very good. Very good. Yeah, great. So sensitivity, listening, and feeling is very much part of Master Lok's practice. In fact, it should be part of all our Tai Chi practice, but I must say Master Lok really brought it to the forefront. And when I was training with him directly, I really felt it. You know, he was guiding me through and saying, okay, feel for this and level with that and connect with this. And I was going, gosh, I can actually feel that. And I had not felt that degree of connection before. I'd felt it spontaneously, even doing the 24 form as I was doing silk reeling, going, oh, I feel an energetic barrier there, and I feel my center line and this and that. I had felt the concept, I had felt the experience of connecting energetically with the system. But Master Lok really, it's at the forefront of his teaching. So not just going through the motions, but feeling your way, riding the wave of energy and finding the natural barriers. So when you hit the girdle meridian, think of it like a Saturn's rings. You know, you've got this energy flowing around your waist. It's very powerful, and it has an aura to it. It has a, just like if you see a magnet experiment with iron filings, if you put the magnet underneath a piece of paper and the iron filings on top, you'll see that the energy creates this kind of upper and lower field. And we have that. We are electric beings. We have a lot of spark of energy in our system. That's our spark of life. So you will find these places where there is resistance. You will find where the natural plateaus are, where the natural points are. And Hug Ball is all about that. It's not just positioning yourself in a nice round shape. We are finding the resistance. We're finding the electromagnetic conversation that's going on within our field, and we're playing with it. We are sliding around it. We are stretching it at times. We're squeezing it at other times. We are interplaying with it. And that takes your practice to a whole other level. And you can, I'm sure you can bring what you get from your Tai Chi into your other martial training. You'll find your path with that. I can't tell you how to do that. We integrate everything that we do in every discipline. It all comes together somehow within our system. So I wish you joy with that. Play with it. Be playful. Things that get in the way, tension. If you're too tense, you won't feel anything other than tension. So we need to relax. Lack of breath. If the breath isn't flowing, the energy won't be flowing very well. If you are too cold, your blood supply will be going towards your major organs and bringing your energy to your major organs, and that will result in less qi flowing to the extremities. So don't be too cold. Too hot, the energy will be flooding and all you'll feel is heat rather than the subtleties of play. If you're exhausted, if you're overly tired, again, your energy will be directed towards your organs, rightly so, to keep you functioning well, and so you'll have less energy to the extremities. So there's a whole bunch of things, including thought, actually. If you are overly like trying to force it, if you're going, I want to feel what I felt before, I want to feel this, your thought of kind of pushing actually creates a barrier. So in order to feel energy flowing, you have to be like a bird watcher in a hide. You know, you just observe. You're not expecting anything. You're not trying to manufacture anything. You're just observing it as it happens naturally. So it's a funny one, isn't it? Because where our mind goes, our energy follows. But if we chase it, then it actually gets in the way. The problem is then that you've over-egged it and the energy is shut down. So over-enthusiasm can also get in the way. So relax, observe, be playful, and don't worry. Sometimes, you know, when I go to do the squeeze, I feel so much energy and heat and resistance, and it's lovely. I'm like, wow, that was incredible. The next time when I go to do it, I'm already expecting to experience that. And because the expectation is peaked and my system has gone into a kind of high alert, ooh, this is coming, it doesn't happen. So yeah, you can really kind of sabotage the flow of energy by overly investing in the outcome. Don't worry about the outcome, just enjoy the journey, and it will happen. Maybe not every time, maybe not perfectly, but the more you relax, the more you enjoy it and just feel, the more there will be to feel. It's like me, you know, I saw a sea eagle one day with a friend on the island of Arran, and I was like, oh, like this, and of course it just flew away, you know. And even here I go for wee walks with my husband, and there's like wee birdies in the trees, and I'll stop, go, oh, don't make a sound, the birdies. And of course, because of my sudden stop, that alerts them and they fly away. Whereas if I had just kept walking, they would have been fine, they would have stayed. So we can do the same thing to our energy. We can alert it, we can stop everything, because our mind on high alert makes our energy get stuck. So just relax. All right, so what would you like to do? Shall we have a wee go through the Immortals, folks? Yeah. Yeah, okay, Immortals it is. So we'll just take a few moments to calm down after my little rant, and then we'll go into it. So once through. Just relax, let it flow. Ready, start. Jolly well done. That's us, that's our time up. You did really well. Very nice indeed. Let's finish off, folks. So yes, every day your energy will be different. In fact, every second your energy will be different. One thing I didn't mention was food. If you've had a large meal, again, that directs your energy to your digestive tract. So if you've just eaten, actually it's not considered good to eat and then go straight in to movement. What we do in Chen training after a meal, as we go into our next session, we do a stand. So if you're doing 20 minutes of standing, that's a nice peaceful practice that allows your energy to do its thing. You're not pushing it. So it aids digestion and it's good preparation. So the energy is something to companion rather than to force. We can direct it effortlessly with each thought, with each movement, but we work with it, not against it. Let's go down the legs. And of course, this body conditioning stimulates the energy. Wherever you hit, the energy goes. Great for recovery. Let's lift up. A little bounce. And let's go back down the body. Guiding everything back to center. Good, let's let the movements run out of steam. Let's take 3 breaths to finish. Float up. And relaxing down. Again, have that slight curve in the palms. The logong pressing through the air. Last time, suspend your breath at the top. Press your fingers to the sky, press your toes down into the earth. Think of sealing in your good energy and release. Guide your hands gently to cover center, hugging your elbows in, check posture, and breathe. Feel into your belly. Feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful. Folks, thank you so much for joining me today and working so hard. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.